Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Shtotra Shatashri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Srimad-Bhagavad-Gita ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 8, text number 26. Shukla Krishne Gati Hyete Jagatah Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyanavritte Manyaya Vartate Punaha. Word to word meaning: Shukla, light; Krishna, darkness; Gati, passing away; He, certainly; Ete, all these; Jagataha, of the material world; Shashvate, the Vedas; Mate, in the opinion; Ekaya, by one; Yati, goes; Anavrittim, no return; Anyaya, by the other; Avartate, comes back; Punaha, again. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. According to the Vedas, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. Shri Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki Gaur Nitai ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please repeat this translation. According to the Vedas, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The same description of departure and return is quoted by Acharya Baladeva Vidyabhushana from the Chandogya Upanishad. In such a way, those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshraya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyadeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, in this world, whenever somebody acts very responsibly, planning for the future or planning for the long term, they are respected. They're a very responsible person, very intelligent person. But if somebody does not plan for the future and they are just seeing that, today how I can maximize my life, that is not appreciated so much. We say a very irresponsible person, very, very foolish person. He is not thinking about the consequences of his action, what will happen tomorrow to him, to his family, right? We all think like that. Even governments, they say if you are not prudent, like when this fuel crisis happened, so they were appreciating the governments which were, spending less fuel. They had built enough reserve stocks, anticipating that the war will come. And those leaders were very well appreciated because they are planning in the future this can happen, so we have to be careful. But some countries, they were very reckless. They were spending all the gas, all the fuel that was there, not thinking what will be the consequence. And when the fuel crisis came, there was no fuel for people, then they all started criticizing the government. How irresponsible this government is. They are not planning for the future. So in all aspects of our life, whether it is our personal life, whether it is our family life, whether it is our social life, or whether it is even managing an entire country or a community, this planning for the future, having a long-term vision, is considered a sign of responsibility, a sign of intelligence, a sign of sanity. But if somebody is not planning for the future, then such a person is called a very irresponsible, insane, and unintelligent person. Is it not? So now, Bhagavad Gita is talking about planning for our eternal happiness. When we make plans, generally when people are making plans in this world, we are planning for maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, maybe 50 years, maybe 100 years. Is it not? Our longest term plan is insurance policy, 30-year policy, 40-year policy. Before getting into a relationship with someone, we think we'll be married with this person for 40 years, so I have to find a right partner. When we are making decisions about our career, what course to take, we are thinking, if I study this course, I learn this much money, and by this, my life will be settled. So we are planning at most for 50 years, 100 years. But if we ask people this question, after you die, have you planned for something for your death? The maximum that we plan for our death is, we will write one will where we say, after I die, this property has to go to such and such person. Is it not? At best, that is what we do. But then the question, what about yourself? After death, what have you planned for yourself? If that question we ask, either a single person or a person who is managing a big institution or somebody who's managing the entire country or state, what have you planned that after the people in this country are going to leave their body, what will be their destination? None of the leaders have any answer. So, is it a very responsible leadership or is it a very irresponsible leadership? The most certain thing in our lives is we are going to die. There is nothing more certain than that. Whether it is going to be tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after 10 years, after 20 years, we don't know. But certainly, all of us are going to die. So have we planned what will happen to us after our death? We have not planned. Then is it not irresponsible behavior? Is it not unintelligent behavior? So the Bhagavad Gita is guiding us. The entire Bhagavad Gita is guiding us to plan for our eternal destination. We are all planning for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. But what will happen to us after our death? What will happen to your children after their death? What will happen to your grandchildren after their death? Why are you not planning for that? The reality is, we don't know who we are. We don't know who our children are. We don't know who our grandchildren are. This is ignorance. We are all thinking that these bodies that we see around us, these are the personalities. But Bhagavad Gita is telling that this body is only a covering, just like we are all wearing this dress. This body is also just like a dress. And if we are only concerned with the well-being of this body, then we are doing a great disservice to the real person who is the soul seated in each of these bodies. It's a very big disservice. Just like every day if we are just pressing our clothes very nicely or getting a new set of clothes looking very nice, but we ourselves are not eating food, is it a very intelligent thing? The body needs nourishment. Simply giving a good dress is not sufficient. Similarly, simply taking care of this bodily needs for whatever its duration is, 50 years or 100 years, without taking care of the soul, which is eternal in nature, is a great foolishness. So, Bhagavad Gita is teaching us that for every person who is there in this world, death is certain. And after death, he has only two options. That is what this verse is talking about. Shukla Krishne gratihyete jagata shashvate mate ekaya yatyanavrittim manyaya vartate punaha. There are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when passes in darkness, he returns. So, in the earlier verses, Krishna is describing that no matter what arrangement you make in this world, how much money you earn, you go to the gym and maintain your body very fit, you go to the best beauty parlor and try to look young forever, you have one of the best relationships in this world, you earn as much money as possible, but in this place, you are only going to experience misery. Guarantee. What is guaranteed in this world? Misery. Misery in the form of birth, disease, old age, and death. This is guaranteed. So, this human form of life is meant for preparing ourselves to make a permanent solution to these miseries. And the way we prepare ourselves at the time of death will determine whether we come back again to experience these same miseries or we are freed from the cycle of miseries by going to the spiritual world. There are only two alternatives available. So here Krishna is telling, if one takes the path of darkness, darkness means one of ignorance. We are not aware that we are eternal. We are thinking we are these bodies. And our entire life we have spent only in satisfying our bodily necessities. Thinking that we have very responsibly carried out our duties. Studying well, earning a degree, getting a good job or having a good business, earning a lot of money, building a house, taking care of parents, taking care of family, and we think we have been very, very responsible. But in the course of all this, if we have forgotten our real business, how to go back to the spiritual world, then there is no use of performing all these duties perfectly. It is simply a wasted effort. We have irresponsibly led our life, where valuable human form of life we have wasted without understanding who we are. What is our real business in this world? Where are we supposed to go back? We have not utilized this life properly. But if the same human form of life, Krishna is saying, if we live in the path of light, and the path of light means in the path of knowledge, where from the Bhagavad Gita we learn what is our real identity, what is our real business, what is our real home, how we can be free from all these miseries which are being experienced in this material world. Then we don't have to again experience these miseries in this material world of birth, disease, old age and death. And this life is a responsible life, an intelligent life. So we should not misunderstand and think that I'm doing all my responsibilities perfectly connected to this body. No, it is not at all enough. Because this is not the purpose of human life. Prabhupada gives an example for this kind of thinking, where people are using their intelligence and their abilities to improve the standard of living in this material world. He gives the example of a vulture. A vulture is a very wonderful bird because it has got very, very sharp vision. And it has got an ability to fly high above the atmosphere into the stratosphere. Such heights the vulture can fly. So the vulture can fly at such a height and it has such great vision that it can see through very, very far distances. But Prabhupada is pointing out, with such wonderful abilities, what is this vulture trying to do? It is trying to find out where is a dead body. And it is using these abilities simply to eat some rotten meat which is there on the ground. So it is going high up in the air, flying very high, and then it is searching where is rotten meat and coming and eating. So, in this human form of life, if we are not using our intelligence, our time, our resources, our energy, our abilities for pursuing Krishna consciousness, for reading Bhagavad Gita, for going back to the spiritual world, but instead if we are using it simply to lead a very comfortable life in this world, earning a lot of money, having a nice family, having a nice society, house, very advanced civilization, it is compared to this vulture, which is having all these abilities and making big, big arrangements. But ultimately, what it is doing? It is only eating some rotten meat. So, in this human form of life, we have a choice. What are we going to do at the time of death? Are we going to go in the path of darkness or are we going to go in the path of light? And unfortunately, we cannot say that now let me lead a life very nicely. When death comes, at that time I will choose the path of light. It doesn't work like that. This entire life is meant for preparing our consciousness at the time of death. Because whatever our consciousness is at the time when we are there in this body and performing our day-to-day activities, all those cumulative consciousness only is there with us at the time when we are leaving this body. So if someone is attached to being in this material world, he cannot say that at the time of death, I will give up all these attachments. And secondly, can any one of us say when we are going to die? We don't know when we are going to die. So, We cannot say, for 20 years, let me nicely make an arrangement in this material world. Let me fulfill all my responsibilities. And after 20 years, when all my responsibilities are finished, that time I will pursue spiritual life. We cannot say that. Because death can come tomorrow, death can come now, death can come anytime. Is it not? So, the Vedas say, the Acharyas say that we have to practice thinking about Krishna every moment of our lives. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityasaha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. Krishna points out in this chapter that while it is very difficult to go back to the spiritual world, it is very easy for one person. Tasyaham sulabha partha. Very, very easily that person can attain me. What sort of a person? Ananya cheta satatam. One who is always thinking of me without deviation. Always thinking of me without deviation. Yomam smarati nityashaha. Eternally. Nityashaha means always smarati, thinking. Tasyaham sulabha partha. For such a person, I am very, very easy to attain. Why? Nitya yuktasya yoginaha. Because such a person is always connected to me. So this is the secret. How we can leave our body so that we don't come back again. How? While we are living in this body, while we are carrying out our day-to-day activities, we should become trained to think of Krishna always. And that is possible how? When we regularly read Bhagavad Gita and practice the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Like this, if we practice and mold our lives keeping Krishna in the center, then our destination is guaranteed that we will pass when we are leaving this body through the path of light. We will never come back again to this material world. With this, we'll stop here. Srimad-Bhagavad-Gita ki, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now we'll have Shayanarti. Hare Krishna.